Good morning, children. Welcome to the online class of Sri Gokulam Public School, Vadagara.
Hello, my dear students. Hearty welcome to today's English class. I hope you all are very fine and safe at home. You know, our villain, the corona, is very, very near to us. From anywhere and from anyone, we will get it. That's the situation now. Okay, so dear students, you please avoid all unwanted journeys, trips, get together, parties, and try to save your life. Let us pray to the Almighty to save our life. That's the need of the hour. So be very careful, be safe at home. Okay? Yes. Let us move to the lesson. I know you all are very eagerly waiting to know more about the world famous Indian scientist and late President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Very lovingly, we call him as People's President. Do we ever think why everyone calls him as People's President? Or do we ever think what made him different from all other presidents of India? Do you think? You should try to find out that. Then you could know more about him. What kind of a man was he? Yes, according to him, he used to say, if a nation tries to enlighten the youth and the students like you, then it will be very easy for the country to develop in its maximum level. That was his view. So whenever he got a chance to interact with the students and the youth, he tries to convey this message. In almost all his books, the same message he conveyed. You know which are the books written by him, some famous books by him? Do you know? Yes, Wings of Fire, that is his autobiography. Okay? And this lesson itself, My Childhood itself, is an extract from that book. And other books, the title itself that says, for example, Ignited Minds. See the title, Ignited Minds. Then the other books like Inspiring Thoughts. See, in almost all his books, he conveys the same message. The title itself, it says, for example, Ignited Minds. Okay? Ignited minds. Whose minds are ignited? The youth, the students. Ignited minds. Inspiring thoughts. Turning points. These are some of his very famous and well-read books. So, you also should, I think most of you might have read already. So, those who did not read these books, get the book and read it. I assure you, it will change you. It will motivate you. It will inspire you. Okay, such a powerful books. So, you all should try to get the book and read. Okay, and try to know that great Indian. Okay, let us move to the lesson, My Childhood. Okay, just be ready with your, all of you be ready with your textbook and go through the lines while I am reading and explaining. Okay, are you ready? Yes. Take the lesson, My Childhood. Okay, you are given a pre-reading question. Can you think of any scientist who have also been statesman? What is meant by statesman? Who is a statesman? Means a person who is good in national affairs, a leader in national affairs, a person who promotes public good. We know many great scientists, but they were not a good statesman. That's the difference. Okay, that made him different from other scientists. Okay, he was a great scientist. At the same time, he was a good statesman also. Okay, statesman. Then the first three paragraphs, I think it's already discussed. We can just revise the paragraphs that's already discussed. Then we can move to the rest of the part. Okay, look. I was born into a middle class Tamil family in the island town of Rameshwaram in the east-wide Madras state. My father, Jainuddin, had neither much formal education nor much wealth. Despite these disadvantages, he possessed great innate wisdom and a true generosity of spirit. He had an ideal helpmate in my mother, Ashiama. I do not recall the exact number of people she fed every day, but I am quite certain that far more outsiders ate with us than all the members of our own family put together. What is saying in the first paragraph? It says about his parents, his father Jainuddin and mother Ashiama. He says his father, he had neither much formal education and nor much wealth. And if you think it is a disadvantage, okay, not having education, uneducated, and at the same time not very rich. If you think it is a disadvantage, he possessed another best qualities. Okay, which are the best qualities he possessed? He possessed great innate wisdom. Underline that line. He possessed great innate wisdom and a true generosity of spirit. What is meant by innate wisdom? A knowledge or wisdom that we possess by the time of birth itself. Okay, that is innate wisdom, inborn. Okay, inborn, and a true generosity of spirit. Generosity of spirit means the ability to share one's thought. Generosity of spirit. Okay, the ability to share one's thought. These two great qualities who possessed his father, Jainuddin. Then at the same time, he had an ideal helpmate in my mother, Ashiama. Same like him. Okay, same like him. An ideal helpmate. An ideal helpmate who his mother, Ashiama. I do not recall the exact. Then he says something about that happens usually in his house. That is, I do not recall the exact. Recall, remember. I do not recall the exact number of people she fed every day. Why? Because more than the total number of the family members she fed. Okay, she gave food to more number of than the total number of the family members. Okay. Then next paragraph. I was one of many children, a short boy with rather undistinguished looks, born to tall and handsome parents. We lived in our ancestral house, which was built in the middle of the 19th century. It was a fairly large pucca house. It was a fairly large pucca house made of limestone and brick on the most street in Rameshwaram. What is saying about his look? A short boy with rather undistinguished looks. Undistinguished means unexceptional. No, not not having any special features. That is his opinion about him. Okay, a short boy with rather undistinguished, ordinary, undistinguished looks. Born to tall and handsome parents. We lived in our ancestral house. Ancestral house means something that we possess from our ancestors, forefathers. Okay, we lived in our ancestral house, which was built in the middle of the 19th century. It was a fairly large pucca house made of limestone and brick on the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram. Where was it? In the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram. Then, my austere father used to avoid all inessential comforts and luxuries. However, all necessities were provided for in terms of food, medicine or clothes. In fact, I would say mine was a very secure childhood, both materially and emotionally. What he says, my austere father, austere in the sense very strict, at the same time loving. Okay, strict, simple and strict, that is austere. My austere father used to avoid all inessential comforts. Inessential, unimportant. Unimportant comforts. Inessential comforts and luxuries. Comforts here, needs. Okay, unimportant needs, he will avoid that. Okay, he asks for something that is not much important, he won't give. Okay, but all necessities were provided, all essential things were provided, all important things were provided. For which are the essential things or important things for a child? Yes, food, medicine, clothes, these kind of things. Okay, in fact, I would say mine was a very secure childhood. Underline that line. My childhood was a very secure, mine was a very secure childhood, both materially and emotionally. Materially, why? What is meant by materially? Because he got food, medicine, okay, the things that we need. At the same time, emotionally means he got enough care and love. That is emotional needs. Okay, that's why he says mine was a very secure childhood. Very secure means secure, safe. Okay, very safe. Mine was a very secure childhood, both materially and emotionally. So here we are getting an idea about a picture of his parents. Okay, at the same time about his childhood also. Then shall we move to the next paragraph? Third one.